Hello. Today's lesson is going to be making a slanting style Ohara Moribana arrangement. Probably the first Moribana you made was the upright style because we start with that arrangement first. It's an easier one to compose. And you were told to place your kenzan parallel to the side of the container and to imagine your kenzan divided like this. Imaginary line creating this triangle with your shu up here, your fuku or secondary stem here, and the flowers in this corner. The slanting style Moribana has a completely different orientation. You'll place your kenzan perpendicular to the side of the suiban, like this at the midpoint. And you will still consider imagining your kenzan cut in half like this, and then this diagonal part is where you will work, leaving this part of the kenzan free. In this version of the slanting style Moribana, because it's slanting style, your shu or subject stem will go out this way, your fuku's up here, and your flowers again are in the corner over here. I'm going to show you on a large, so maybe you want to take a picture or something like that. I'm going to put some stickers where the positions are. First you'll start with your shu down here, but not all the way to the corner, a little bit up to leave room for your cascade. Next, you'll place your fuku. Now this stem, your shu, is going to be the standard width, which is the diameter of your container plus the depth. The fuku now, in the slanting style, is 1/2 of the shu, and that goes in this top corner. Next we'll place our tall filler, and that will go here in front of the fuku, but leaning toward the shu. After that, we have our middle filler here, and then we have our cascade. Now often I wait until the end of I've completed my flower grouping before I put the cascade, but the cascade goes here under the shu stem, and it'll be hopefully curving toward or facing toward the flowers. Your flowers go in that right corner. Over here in this one, with your kyaku or object stem, 1/2 the length of your shu, sticking out 60 degrees. And your other supporting stems, your yesterday flower behind it, and then your tall object filler. Now, sometimes it's good to put your object filler back a ways, your kyaku, so that it leans into the other group. So I'm going to stick it still in this kenzan arrangement here to give you the idea that you don't have to have it be right in this little cluster, but it leans in and it's going to be tall. I'd like to show you now what that will look like with my stick figures. I've made an oasis replica of our kenzan. I don't know if you can see my blacked out section of the top of the pretend kenzan. This is my shu, and it's 70 degrees down and kind of curving in toward the center of the arrangement. This is fuku back here. That is 1/2 of shu, and if you can get a curve, it curves up into the arrangement. My tall filler is a thinner version of shu, because we think of that as the growing or younger version of shoe. So always have that be more lighter than shoe, so it doesn't overpower it. Tall filler can be, depending on the materials, as long as shoe, but it's not ever longer than shoe. In fact, no stems are ever longer than shoe in our Ohara arrangements. So when considering now the middle filler, which will be this one, consider a height, even though there's no rule about this, that's somewhere between your fuku, your secondary stem, and your tall filler, so that you get this up and down. And of course the short stem filler, the cascade, is the shortest of all. So when you look at this from the side, you'll see that it's a fan. And when you look through the arrangement, you want to be sure that you see the fuku back there. This is fuku. It should be visible. I don't know if you're looking at it. See? Okay. You're seeing, I have to look at the camera angle. So this is fuku, and it's always, when you're looking at it from the front, you see that fuku back there. And of course your flowers will be here. Okay, now I'd like to actually make an arrangement using these measurements and angles. Okay, first I'll start with putting my Kenzan perpendicular to the side. And now I'll fill it with water, and as you learned, if you pour the water on top of the Kenzan, it keeps it from splattering. Water actually helps your flowers, your stems, to stay put. So don't avoid doing it thinking that it'll be easier and maybe it'll work better, but you want to cover the top of the pinpoints on there when you pour your water. Sometimes a sensei will come around and say, you don't have your water high enough, so make sure you do. Okay, today I'm going to use Sansevieria for my line material, or the shoe grouping, and sunflowers for the flower grouping. My particular Sansevieria had curves going every which way, and I had to be careful that I didn't turn it away from the arrangement, because we want all of our flowers to talk to each other and look into the arrangement. So I'm going to curve this shoe like this, and not quite at the corner of my Kenzan, to leave room for the cascade. Push down and out to be 60, 70 degrees. Okay, I'm going to have to recut this probably to make it stay put. When they get raggedy and they don't want to stay put, many times it helps if you just recut it, and then it gives it a stronger base. Put it in, making sure that my curve is facing into the arrangement. Down 70 degrees. Next I'm going to put fuku in, which is half of the shoe. And again, I want the curve to go up into the arrangement if I can, and that goes into that top right corner. I'm sorry, top left corner. I'm behind, you're seeing the front of the arrangement. Next, I'm going to put in the tall filler. Notice how much thinner it is than my shoe, because this is the younger version of shoe. I have this in front of my fuku, but it's going to be leaning toward my shoe. tall filler will go in between. Middle filler. And again, I have all kinds of curves going on here, but I want it to face into the arrangement. And I made mine sort of in between the fuku and the tall filler. Put that here. Okay, I'm in New York, so you're probably hearing the ambulance, sorry. Okay, now see how you can see your fuku? And I'm going to hold off with my short filler until I get my flowers in. As always, when you can do it, because sometimes not all flowers that you get have that yesterday, tomorrow, and today, but mine clearly do. This is my yesterday flower, this is my today, and this is my tomorrow, which is much smaller. I was lucky that these sunflowers had some blooms on them. So we start with our today flower, and you can see that she's got a curve. We don't want her looking down, we want her looking up. She's 1/2 of shoe. We don't always count the tip depending on your materials, but these are quite large, and so is my container, which, by the way, is not an Ohara Suiban. It's actually a bowl that I got in either Crate and Barrel or Williams-Sonoma. But as long as it has the depth that we need, 2 inches to cover the Kenzan, and it's at least 12 inches, you can use it. So you can improvise with your own containers that you see at a pottery show or whatever. So here we go. Now she wants to look out this way, so I'm going to have to turn her so she is facing toward you. This is 1/2. This might be a little long. Okay, keeping my curve going up, and I put her in here, in that corner. And she is down 60. Make her face a little bit more to the front. My yesterday's flower is going to go behind her. Now, again, she has a curve to her. See, she'd look down or look up. If you face your yesterday flower kind of in your face in the front, it will hide the Kenzan, and it's meant to be down here low. Often we make her halfway the height of the subject or kyaku. I think she can be shorter. I'll put her here, and I'll have her come down. So when you're looking at it from the front, you're not seeing the Kenzan. And now my tall bud, or tomorrow's filler. One of my leaves is not so good here. We don't want to use bad leaves. If I start her from the back, I have more control over where she can be. So I'm going to first cut it long and see how far I want to go. And she's got a curve too. We want to make it part of that triangle in the Kenzan. Let's see what I want to do with her. Okay. So we get our scalene triangle, 1, 2, 3. And now I need to put in my short cascade to sort of connect the two. When we say connect the two, I don't mean that they literally connect it. Sorry. And maybe this is too long to do what I want it to do. Okay. So the short filler or cascade is still part of your fan grouping. And let me take a look at this. Okay. Yeah. So my shoe should be way lower. Okay. And my fuku, my tall fill. Okay. Alrighty, so you see, this is my fuku over here. And you can see it through the arrangement when you're looking at it from on. And now you see the other arrangements. I have a leaf here and now, if you want to, you can sort of move your kenzan more to the front, and that also will help hide the kenzan. I'm using a Lazy Susan or turntable, and I suggest that you get yourself one so that for Zoom lessons, if you are to show your front and the back and the side, you just turn it like I was doing, and it makes it so much easier. You don't have to worry about wrecking up your arrangement. Okay, I hope that this helps you. I may have to do some adjustment because remember I'm seeing it from behind, and it's really hard to know what you're doing. So you try your own slanting style Moribana, and I will be sending you some handouts with diagrams and pictures of examples of slanting style Moribana. Good luck. Look forward to seeing your arrangements.